Hey, what's up? It's Symphony here. Subscribe to my brother Mr. Creepy as Hell channel, and when you're watching his videos, make sure you stay in one piece.
I live out on a countryside in the middle of nowhere, and the nearest store that's about 15 minutes away from me is a Dollar General. I usually shop there about 95% of the time. That's where I usually get my groceries and stuff that I need. There's a cashier and a manager there that knows me because I come there often. This particular day though, when I came into the Dollar General to do some shopping, I noticed there was a new cashier and the one that I was used to was gone. I later found out from the manager that unfortunately she was let go and that she's working somewhere else now. I was a little bummed out because I come to that Dollar General a whole lot and I've been coming there for the past 3 years and she's always been there. So seeing her not there anymore kind of bummed me out. As I was shopping though, I noticed that this new cashier, which happens to be a man, just kept on having his eyes glued onto me. But it was the way this man was staring at me, it really kind of unsettled me. He was staring at me like he was staring through my soul or staring inside of me, and it made me very uncomfortable. I'm not a person where I really like people to stare at me. It makes me really uncomfortable. As I got done with my shopping, I made my way over there towards him, and that's when things got even more strange and weird. "Hello, Jonathan. Did you find everything that you needed?" he said in a very low-pitched voice. I was wondering how he knew my name. That's what really creeped me out. Well, one of the things that kind of creeped me out. The other was the way he talked it. His voice seemed really low and uncomfortable, like needles poking at my skin. It just made me feel uncomfortable how he talked and how his voice sounded. I tried to comfort myself by saying the way he probably knew my name was from the manager. Maybe the manager may have told him that I was a long-time loyal customer that comes to Dollar General a whole lot. So it made me felt a little better and not too anxious and nervous, but still, it was the way this guy was staring at me earlier and the way he talks and how he sounds when he talks. Just something was just off about it. "I found everything okay, actually. Thank you for asking," I said, responding to his question. "Where do you live, Jonathan?" he asked me. Now, that question really took me by surprise. Why was this dude asking where I was living at? And why did he want to know? I didn't give him that answer. I just told him that I lived about 15 minutes away from here. That's all I was going to tell him. After he got done ringing up my stuff that I bought, I paid for it and I dashed out of the door. On my way home, I really felt off and funny about this guy. It almost made me not want to shop here. But then I was also fighting with myself that I've been shopping here for about 5 years. Why should I stop now just because of this weird guy? So I let it alone. But that night though, something would happen, and what I experienced would be something I'll never forget. I was sitting down watching Netflix while eating dinner, and my phone began to ring. I paused Netflix and I picked up the phone. I looked at it and the number I did not recognize. It wasn't in my contacts, so I didn't answer it. I just blocked the number instead. After I got done blocking the number, I went ahead and played Netflix again. But about 30 minutes later, my phone rang again, and it was a different number. But once again, it wasn't a number that I recognized. Like I did with the previous number, I blocked this number. And I went and watched Netflix again, but this time I felt a little bit uncomfortable, a little worried, wanting to know what was going on. I thought for one moment maybe I was being prank phone called or something like that. But after about an hour, that uneasiness and uncomfortableness washed off me and I felt relaxed again. So I continued to watch Netflix. And about 30 minutes later, my phone rang again. And once again, just like the other 2 calls, I did not recognize this number. But I did something different this time. I got fed up and I answered the number. I didn't say nothing at first, I just waited. But there was nothing but silence on the phone. And then I heard breathing on the other end. And then someone with a chilling and uncomfortable voice said something that made me jump out of my skin and made my skin crawl. "You have a nice room, Jonathan." Then he hanged up the phone and I recognized the voice. I immediately got up and I went in my room, angry, more than scared, and I confronted this creep. When I got in the room, I asked him, "Listen, get the hell out of my house now, or else I'm gonna have the cops called. You're trespassing. Get out now." "You don't recognize me, Jonathan, do you? See, you're not gonna call the cops on me, because if you do, you're also gonna get yourself arrested as well. Does the name Logan ring any bells to you?" When that name was mentioned, my heart felt like it was gonna stop. I can feel the blood rushing all over my body because I recognized that name, Logan. I looked at him, and despite him dyeing his hair a different color and growing a beard and a mustache, I recognized him. He was someone that I committed murder with. It was a robbery gone wrong. Me and him about 15 years ago committed a robbery where we robbed an elderly woman who had a lot of money. I saw that she was coming and we were caught, and I didn't want to go to jail, and I shot her twice. Me and Logan didn't stay around to figure if she was alive or not, and I regret doing that. We ran and we never said nothing about it. They're still looking for her murderers, but they don't have an idea how we look or anything like that. Eventually I moved on with my life, and I was able to complete college, and I was able to get a decent job where I bought my first house. Yeah, Jonathan, look at you. Got a nice house, got a wonderful job. You were able to graduate from college. That was the complete opposite for me. I was still living with my mother. We got kicked out of our house. She abandoned me, had to look for a job, and working at Dollar General doesn't even pay that much. Can't even get stable hours. You're doing well for yourself. Now, here's the thing, Jonathan. If you don't want me to turn you into the police, because even if I get arrested, I won't have really much to lose, but you have a lot to lose. I want to stay here with you. You have a nice place, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind if an old friend stays with you. It'll be like we're roommates like we were before when we were in college. Come on now. Either that, or I'm turning you in. I worked it hard to build a good life for myself, and I wasn't going to throw it all away going to jail. So I nodded my head and I agreed to let Logan stay with me. My past finally caught up to me, and now Logan holds my life in his hands, and he can ruin it at any moment.